Okay, why do you need a flat bevel on your chisel instead of a secondary bevel or a convex bevel? Okay, this is a Rob Costman chisel, IBC. It has a secondary bevel on it that you can see right there, that different colored bit at the end. So, if I put this onto my wood and I bring it forward, it starts to take a shaving, very fine shaving. But as soon as I move back even the teeniest bit, you see it's now just plowing the shavings that it's taken. There's such a fine zone of control. If I take this flat bevel chisel, which is a Nerix, okay, so I bring that forward, and as you can see, as I'm rolling it forward, it starts to take the finest of shavings. The finest of shavings. And if I tip it up, it starts to take more of a shaving. And as I tip back, it takes less. I've got this large zone of control, and not only there is it plowing. I've got a large zone of control for controlling how much shaving I'm taking. Another big advantage to having a completely flat bevel is when you're doing shoulders. You can put the flat bevel, the large flat bevel, on the shoulder, and you can take a shaving along the shoulder like that, creating a perfectly flat and level shoulder referenced to the flat of your chisel. Freehand sharpening. Okay, the secondary bevel. I can bring this forward, and as you can see, the water on the plate pushes out in front of the chisel. As soon as it stops pushing out, I'm on the primary bevel. So I can sharpen that primary bevel easily, but I'm not sharpening the secondary bevel. See, I'm only sharpening the primary, not the secondary. Okay, so if I want to sharpen the secondary, I have to go push until I see that water in front. But because the secondary is so small, as you can see, as I rock forward, it doesn't push more water out. The water in front doesn't change. And in fact, it doesn't even suck back until I move the chisel back off the primary bevel. So in order to sharpen that secondary bevel by hand, you've got to develop sort of a feel for the right angle of the secondary. And then you can sharpen the secondary, not the primary. You can see by the pattern that I'm sharpening the secondary, not the primary. So sharpening a double bevel chisel is more difficult. A single bevel chisel, I just bring it forward until, here, let me put some more water on. Okay. I just bring it forward until the water blots out and stops. Now I know I'm on the primary bevel, the only bevel. And now I can sharpen the chisel with just one application of 10 strokes. Okay, now I'll show you how to get a perfectly flat bevel. Okay, most people, when they sharpen their chisel, are going to lay on the bevel, and then they're going to move their arms. This inevitably creates this kind of motion, which is going to give you a convex bevel. It's okay, but not ideal. You get much better control over using your bevel when it's flat. In order to get a flat bevel, you get the right angle, lock the chisel down with one hand, lock it against your body with the other hand, put your elbows into your sides, and move your legs. I'm rocking forward onto my left foot, rocking back onto my right. Forward left, back right. And I'm moving from the hips and knees and ankles. I'm not moving my upper body at all. And as you can see, the chisel is not changing its angle during the stroke. And when you're done, you have a perfectly flat bevel. And a couple wipes with the strop, and that burr is gone, and your chisel is perfectly flat and square.